Breakfast with Spaniels with Dr. Judy Morgan.
Ooh, Latvia. Well, it's not morning there. I'm saying good morning. Not morning there. Yeah, it's almost afternoon. Lunch with Spaniels. Hi, Ben. Ella.
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's
Alaska.
time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right, I won't complain about our cold weather here because we got people from colder places. Maybe it's warmer there. I don't know. It's damp and cold and dreary today. Anyway, doesn't matter because I am spending the entire day in the recording studio today. I have 13 voiceovers to do today, so and an interview this afternoon with Dr. Tobias. So one of those busy days. I won't have any voice left, but by the end of the day, yes, I've been recording. See, I just got cold. So I wanted to talk about our visit at the veterinarian yesterday. So you may have seen we went live and interviewed our new veterinarian, Dr. Foka. She's great. Kind of kindred spirits. She's a Jersey girl. She went to Rutgers. She is young and brave enough to start her own practice and be out on her own, and I really admire that because we don't see that very often anymore. And I think, oh, Susie's getting her dental with the pet dentist March 24th. Well, that's good. I think that we don't see that entrepreneurial spirit as much in the young veterinarians, and so I'm so excited that I found somebody who has that spirit, and she's really doing everything right. We got a swag bag at the end of our visit. It had a t-shirt in it. It had magnet for the refrigerator. It had a business card, a leash, one of those small soft leashes that you can kind of keep in your glove compartment in case you I know she does look young. She is young. And it also had a postcard in it that had one of those, I don't know what they're called, those little squares that you hold up to your phone, and it instantly takes you to where you can do a review. So she's asking for reviews. She's doing things the right way to build her following, build her clientele. Her website is well done. I admire that. And she and her staff were amazing. So I've always said in the veterinary world, but really any business, if you own a pet store, a pet sitting business, the QR code, thank you, whatever your business is, it is so critical that the first person that deals with the public is awesome. And so you want someone sitting at that front desk who is well-groomed, polite, smiling, greets you when you walk in the door. The waiting room was spotless, and there was nobody in the waiting room, so it wasn't a lot of noise. It was nice. It was nice. So I went in and checked in first and left Hugh with all the animals in the car because I didn't want to start unloading everybody if they weren't going to be ready for us pretty quickly. So, everybody was phenomenal from the minute we walked in the door until the minute you made an appointment for tomorrow. That's great. Until the minute we left, they were wonderful. Asked questions, very thorough. Now, I was very thorough as well. So I put a link to our curbside veterinary checklist. We call it curbside because I made it back in 2020 when a lot of practices were curbside. And by the way, a lot of practices are still curbside. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why they are. But it's worth downloading that curbside checklist and using it even if you're going in the building. So I didn't actually fill out my curbside checklist, but I knew everything I needed because of the checklist. And so I sent them an email ahead of time with the names, ages, breeds, colors of all the animals we were bringing. I, in that email, included a brief synopsis of what their diseases were. So for Stewie's, it was PSOM, CM, SM, and the poor technician, you know, they're not cavalier people. And so I walked in, the first thing she said is, "Okay, I have this list. Can you tell me what these initials are?" So we went through those and explained them. So it was educational for them, which was great. But I had emailed all that ahead of time so that, and I sent their medications. Stewie's the only one on medications, but I sent his medication list ahead of time. Yeah, I think the Forever Dog has a section on spaying and neutering, but I've got plenty of blogs on it as well. And so then before we went in yesterday morning, after I fed the dogs, I had my baskets with all their supplements. I made a list of all the supplements that everybody was on. You know, that I had that I could hand to them. They could put it in their records. And then I also copied files that I had. I copied Stuart's latest cardiology report. I copied the latest lab work that I had. And so that I had everything prepared, condensed version for them, and it was really easy for them to be able to put things together, especially when you're walking in with 5 animals. We took 4 dogs and a cat. So when you're walking in with 5 animals, the more organized you can keep everything, the easier you're going to make it for them, the more efficient they can be, the faster you can get in and get out, because we went through 5 animals in an hour with full exams on everybody, and I cheated a little bit. I drew the blood early in the morning and already had it spun, so they didn't have to do the blood. But for Forrest, I wanted to do bile acids testing before he ate and then 2 hours after he ate. So they did have to get blood from Forrest while we were there. They had no trouble. He was well behaved. Forrest's biggest problem was every time somebody would enter and exit the room, he wanted to go with them. And so he would run in circles and bark because they weren't willing to take him with them. And I was like, "Oh, you'll bring him back." So, but they were great with all the animals, and you know, just very, very calm attitude, and that's what you want. And you want someone that you can. I've never met this doctor before. She's never met me. I told her I was a veterinarian, but I didn't tell her that much about me. She hadn't heard of me because she's not in the holistic sphere yet. She used to work for a homeopath as a technician, so you know, she's got that mindset, which is awesome. So it made it a lot easier. Now I am going to tell. I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. So when we went in, everybody had to get weighed, and I was a little nervous about the whole weighing thing. You moved to Wake Forest in August from New Jersey. Man, all these Jersey people down here. Someone continue helping the way you're holistic. Yeah, so, and you're going tomorrow. That's great. Yeah, she doesn't know all the holistic stuff yet, but she's really open to it, which is great. And she's not going to give you a hard time if you say, "Yes, I feed raw," or "I make my own food." And I gave her copies of all my books, so you know, hopefully that'll help a little bit. But we had to weigh everybody. And so last time I weighed Forrest, he was only 10 pounds. He's 8 months old. So he was up to 11.4, something like that, which is great. He gained another pound, but he's still, I mean, he's a thin dog, but he races around like crazy. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do extra testing on him. So we got a resting cortisol. I expect it to be normal, but we just need to make sure. And then we're doing the bile acids to see if he might have a liver shunt, because he is a Jing deficient dog. He's got all kinds of issues with his bones and his spinal cord and his brain. He's very Jing deficient, and that could also signify that we might have a liver shunt. So we're just ruling that out, and I was just being proactive rather than have to take him back a second time. I said, you know what, just do it up front. So he's up to 11.5 pounds at 8 months old. It's like, okay, great. And then we weighed Stuart, who should be 18 to 20 pounds, but his heart is so bad that he's really struggling with cardiac cachexia, which is where they all of their energy and all their nutrition is going into making the heart pump. And Stuart also has some protein losing enteropathy. His albumin levels are consistently low. We've known about it for a long time, but his heart is so bad he can't take I'm not willing to give him steroids or some of the drugs. I'm not willing to put him on chronic metronidazole. I'm not willing to put him on chemo drug. I'm not willing to use the things that we would treat that with, and he's doing fine. Like, we don't have fluid loss, anything like that. But he is getting thin from his heart disease, and he only weighed 16.4 pounds. So that, I'm working pretty hard at increasing the fats in his diet, doing what I can. He has to be spoon-fed. He's not the best eater in the world. So he's on the thin side. Forrest is on the thin side. We weighed George, who probably should weigh 12 to 13 pounds. He came in at 14. I was like, okay, not too bad. He's been that weight for probably the past 5 or 6 years, so I'm good with it. Then there's Gabby. And I've been saying, Gabby, you're looking a little thick around the middle. Gabby, I think I've been overfeeding you a little bit, or you're just not, she sleeps all the time. You're not metabolizing this, whatever. So when we adopted Gabby, she was 12 pounds. She was also an intact female. So she got spayed, which we know that as soon as we spay them, so she was spayed at 4.5. So we know that that's going to change their metabolism. And that they are more prone to putting on weight. Our dogs are on no starchy carbs in their diets at all. So I'm thinking I'm doing okay. Yeah, Gabby got on the scale and came away at 17 pounds. Ideally, I would like her to be where George is. They're about the same size. So poor Miss Gabby is on salad. She's on a diet. We are doing a really strict diet with her. So she is getting Paradigm, a lot of Paradigm in her meal and a little bit of protein with it. And I'm sticking with the low-fat proteins for her. So duck is not going to be on her list. She can't eat beef anyway. So she's going to get low-fat proteins with some Paradigm to try to get the weight off, because I'm not allowed to have a fat dog. That's ridiculous. And it's not good for her. So we are going to work hard. So the fact that she weighs more than Stewie, who has such a bigger frame, I knew she was chubby, but I didn't think it was that bad. I know. So I'm telling on myself, and we are going to work really hard at getting Gabby's weight down. Her Paradigm meal last night was a little too soupy, and she was just like, what are you doing? And she loves food. She was really not very happy. You're consulting with Dr. Cooney tonight. Cool. Your border collie tested positive for heartworm. Bummer. Advice for supplements. Well, I would just be doing things like the CoQ10. You want the good antioxidants. I would do some liver drain for sure, like the turkey tail tonic or the liver tonic from Adored Beast. You might even, with heartworm, you might even want to... I lost my train of thought. Oh, the kidney supplement, Dr. Harvey's kidney supplement, because heartworm is hard on the other organs. So you feel for her. There you go. Your vet was a little in shock when you went in with the curbside form, but one of them now has one of their own. Yeah, I have seen, I just need to make Gabby go outside and race around the yard more. She does play with the puppy. He's helping. So Mila was overweight too, and you got on my back. I know. It's just, geez. How do you treat if it has a low cortisol? Does that mean a possible Addison disease? It does. What I would do is, there's a great supplement online, Ancestral something. It's on Amazon. But they have an adrenal supplement. So I would look at just getting some glandular products, and see if that's enough to help. 6-year-old having first dental may need extractions. Yeah, that's about the age where that's got to happen. Yeah. So practice what I preach. I know. So gotta do it. So yeah, let's see, your dog has heart disease and now has pancreatitis. Any advice? Well, it kind of depends. Like if they have high blood pressure, that's going to predispose them to pancreatitis. Does the dog have anything else going on, like Cushing's disease, something else? I do have 2 or 3 pancreatitis blogs and recipes on the website, so drjudymorgan.com. You can look there for more information on that. Would bile issues cause a smacking of lips? Well, the smacking of lips while sleeping could be that you're getting a little bit of acid reflux. You could have some liver cheese stagnation, some stomach heat. Lots of things can be causing that. So, okay. So I just thought I would let you guys know that I'm telling on me. Oh, your 15-year-old cat just diagnosed with lymphosarcoma. Support the immune system. Oh, Philly, your cat's got fluid in the lungs. So I would definitely do a cardiac workup on the kitty. And the problem is with cats, you really don't see heart disease. They don't get the big enlarged hearts that we see with the dogs on x-ray, so it really requires an echocardiogram. So they may have used some diuretics, but I would definitely look at the heart. If a puppy not gaining, growing and eats very good, but need to find something to increase fats, worry about pancreatitis. If you're feeding raw fats, you don't have to worry about pancreatitis. Literally, you can feed them all the fats you want as long as they're raw. Marianne, the dental drops. It's weird because we got the spray bottles, but they didn't. The supplier didn't change the labels on them, so just 1 or 2 sprays on each side of the mouth is going to be fine. Let's see. Does raw feeding a pregnant bitch cause issues? No. Nope. Could Gabby be hypothyroid? No. She's not hypothyroid. She's just fat. She literally is just too fat. So, yeah, dog has MVD, hypertension, tons of medication, and now pancreatitis. Yeah, so the hypertension is what's causing the pancreatitis. Probably not diet related. So, you need to get down inflammation. Dog has urinalysis, amorphous phosphates. Is that meaning a struvite or oxalate? Probably struvite. Look at the pH. Is the pH above or below 7? Above it's struvite, below it's oxalate. Idiopathic pericardial effusion. Well, there's something causing myocarditis. Got to figure out what that is. Okay, everybody have a wonderful day. I got to get back to recording. Gonna have no voice and a dead back by the end of the day. 5-year-old golden. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to Instagram. IBD at 2. Vet recommendations in Long Island area to help with the holistic route. I don't know. And Long Island is hard to get off. Like, there are some in North Jersey. I don't know if you can get over to Red Bank to Kendra Pope. Can you feed raw and kibble? You can. There's a lot of myths out there about that. But you can feed them together. Some people will feed like kibble one meal and raw the other meal. Just start with small bits of raw, and I recommend to people, if you're just starting with raw, to start with pre-made high quality raw foods, and then as you learn more you can move over to making your own. Can primal raw cause dogs to drink more water? It should not. And if freeze dried, they may drink more than if it's a frozen raw. I found that my dogs drank a little more on the primal products as well, but I was using the freeze dried when I traveled. So, okay. Gotta go. Everybody have a wonderful day. Let me see if I can get some exit music here. Maybe. Yay! Does anybody find themselves humming this during the day? Or is it just me? Just like pops in the brain. I guess I hear it all the time, so... Neutering and dental, you could do both at the same time. It's one anesthetic procedure, as long as the teeth aren't, like, god-awful horrible. Okay, and